Most political compass tests really suck, especially the original one, which is notorious for skewing the results with leading questions and also suggesting that bland, boring mainstream politicians are all raving Nazis. Like, if you put in the actual policies and views of various politicians and political parties, they come out way less authoritarian right-wing than the test seems to claim. Other political tests are also heavily skewed due to the creator's ideology, like this one, which was written by a self-described anarcho-capitalist. Many years ago, I saw an actual right-wing fascist on Discord take this test and got social justice warrior. Like, yeah, okay. This one was written by a conservative political foundation that said if you're not right-wing, you do not believe in promoting individual freedom and personal responsibility. The fundamental flaw of these tests is that nobody except maybe 5% of the population actually sits down and goes through each party's manifesto and weighs up each policy. Most people just vote on vibes and only really know where they stand on a few prominent issues. Really, elections these days are just referendums on petrol prices. That's why I coded my own political test designed for the real issues of the current decade. The issues that most people have an opinion on, even if it doesn't actually affect their life all that much. Economic policy questions were out. Nobody cares about that anymore. Front and center of the new quiz would be woke versus chud, identity politics and culture war issues, because that's all that really matters these days. Some questions were straight political, like your opinion on transgender people, free speech and incel ideas. Other questions weren't explicitly political, but I used it as a proxy. For example, this question on what you thought about alternative girls. Online chuds get the most weird about this style of TikTok girl, like that ice skater lady, because they're all addicted to pornography, and the OnlyFans goth style is one of the most sexualized looks in modern porn. So finding alternative girls sexy is chud coded. Hating oversimplified logos is also chud behavior. Sorry.
Cracker Barrel is now under fire. They changed their logo. It is getting rid of historic IP, absolutely and ridiculously generic.
Section 2 was about technology, crypto, AI, futurism, and so on. These ask the player what they think of various new technologies of the decades which so-called tech bros get super excited about, like chatbots, Bitcoin, NFTs, and space travel. Also included were questions on medical technology like vaccines and Ozempic, and seeing as though climate change has completely evaporated from the political agenda, there is only one question here about reducing our energy consumption. It's a question about the degrowth movement. Section 3 was originally titled Modernist versus Nihilist and was about finding where you stood on building a new world or destroying the old one. This was taken from Martin Gurri's book The Revolt of the Public, about how social media has created a nihilist public who use the internet to humiliate and dismantle the establishment. The fundamental question of this section is, do you respect the current system or do you want it destroyed? In 2020's language, that's hope-pilled versus doomer. A nihilist, or a doomer, will not care that his shoplifting or tax evasion is making society worse, because he fundamentally does not respect modern society. A hope-pilled person still believes change is possible in the current system, and therefore would not support those who wish to radically transform it. The section also covers conspiratorial thinking and questions about historical revisionism, all very 2020s issues. The last section was about global geopolitics and international spheres. It scored you on the axis of Davos to Dubai. Davos meaning the established neoliberal world order, liberal democracy, human rights, international law, whatever, and Dubai, multipolarity, Xi Jinping thought, realism, and not giving a fuck if the UN is deeply concerned or not. This was based on a Financial Times opinion article I read where a guy suggested that the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, was an outdated relic from the 20th century. Austere European technocracy is not writing history these days. The real players of the modern day are countries like the United Arab Emirates, China, India, autocratic nations built by new money and an anti-political underclass. You might say, oh, but I don't like neoliberalism or autocratic capitalism, but unfortunately, in this decade, there is no alternative. Finally, I filled out the quiz with the views of 30 different prominent public figures of the 2020s, like politicians, podcasters, public figures, activists, and so on, and then a match-finding algorithm would pair the player up with these figures' scores to get your closest match to who you are. If I couldn't find their views on the subject, I just estimated or picked neutral.
Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
With the test complete, I uploaded it to my website and posted it online. Originally, I was expecting maybe a couple hundred people to play it, give me some feedback, then I'd fix the flaws and make this video and be done with it. Instead, it went viral, with 500,000 people playing it from when I posted it on Thursday night to Sunday afternoon. A lot of people loved it, some people hated it, and I got a lot of feedback. Surprisingly, the aspect people cared the most about wasn't the questions, although I did get some compliments on how funny the quiz was. Instead, people were raving about the matches they were getting, even making memes about it. Some people were outraged at what the test had given them, assuming it was so bad it must be rage bait. The most common result I was seeing was Zohran Mamdani and Claudia Sheinbaum on the left, and Giorgia Meloni and Charlie Kirk on the right. Starmer and Macron came up a lot in the centre, and as it rippled through the various echo chambers of Twitter, the results got more interesting. Big YouTubers were doing it and getting funny results. Some libertarians were getting Xi Jinping, but to be fair, libertarianism is a dead ideology in the 2020s, so I don't really pay it any attention when building the quiz. The rarest ones were MBS and Andrew Tate, surprisingly. I only saw a couple of people get those. Ayla ended up doing the test and getting herself, and I was very proud of that, but when Ed Zitron did the test, he ended up getting Zohran Mamdani. I sent Ed a DM asking for his score so I could fix the code, and he did, and so now it's accurate. Thanks, Ed. After a few hours of the test going viral, some people who were ranking highly on the Chud axis, but also highly on the Davos axis, kind of like a globalist Chud, were getting pissed off that they had got the normie right-winger Rishi Sunak, who was the nearest figure to them. So I quickly updated the code to add Yoon Suk Yeol, the very conservative former president of Korea, to fill the niche of a Chud tech bro hope-pilled globalist. At one point the quiz got so big that people were deconstructing the test and even building on it to make their own versions. Other than that, I didn't really touch the test until it died down and I could tinker around without disrupting anyone's session. I read as many replies as I could, I took notes on the biggest bugbears and the problems with the test, I took all the feedback on board, updated the quiz, and added a French version after someone translated the questions into French, which was nice. And now it's pretty much done. So if you want to play it, visit this site, or scan this QR code, or click the link in the description. Have fun playing, and I'll see you next decade for the 2030s political compass.